Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Calcio Show. I'm Alfredo and today we have an emergency meeting. As always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host Luca. How are we?
I'm doing very well, man. We have to talk about Serie A. It's very important. And we brought on our good friend Lorenzo, the Napoli fan. Thanks for coming on again, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. It's been a rough week, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, tough week.
Well, especially for Juventus and Napoli, which is what we're mainly going to cover today. I think maybe we should start with Juventus. And let me pose the question to you. Are Juventus in a crisis right now?
I think there's some issues we need to address.
Are Juventus in a crisis right now?
No.
You don't think?
No, we're not in a crisis. We're still in and around fighting for the top four, which I think was the objective at the start of the season, if I'm being honest. Like, obviously, I want us to fight for the Scudetto. You know this. I was always saying, yeah, we could potentially win the Scudetto because I'm an optimistic fan in general. But I think realistically, it was going to be another top four charge. And I think we're still in and around there. I believe we're only like 2 points off top four at the minute. AC Milan drew as well as of recording this. So, look, I don't think we're in a crisis, no. But I don't think we're in a Scudetto charge.
Absolutely not. I mean, the form has been... My only reason why I ask if Juventus are in a crisis is because, luckily, let me preface it by saying, luckily, Serie A is in a very, very weak position right now. And I think Juventus are getting away with a lot more than they would, in previous years. 5 draws, 2 losses in 7 games. You look at that team, you look at that back line. I mean, the midfield as well. I mean, Locatelli got dropped again in midweek.
Yeah.
I just... Make me excited. Excite me. Tell me good things.
Look, man.
Tell me. I want to be excited, man. I don't feel excited right now.
Look, I understand it's a delicate period. Why are you laughing?
Delicate. That's a lovely way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a delicate period in our history right now.
Yeah.
Because in the last 5 years, we haven't won the league title. Last time we won it was in lockdown in 2020, and we haven't really challenged for the league in those 5 years. Maybe only the 23-24 season where we sort of went until February, March, and then Inter sort of ran away with it. So I understand where your head's at, and your head is almost like where my dad's is, in the sense that he's looking at the old Juventus and comparing us to what we used to be. But I'm looking at it from a perspective where, like, in the last 5 years, I don't really see us fighting for a league title anytime soon, with the progression of the team, the coach, everything in general. It's just like, so I don't see it as a crisis because we're at where I think we would have been at realistically before the season, just in and around top four. I'll be honest.
I know, and I think that's well within happening. Again, I only say that because of the strength of the other teams around Juventus. But I think this is the worst Juventus team of the last 5 years as well. I think this is the worst Juventus team since 2010.
Since Del Neri times.
Yeah, since that season, the last season before Conte came in,
Yeah.
This is the worst Juventus team since then.
It might be.
I don't want might. It is. It is.
Look, it depends where we finish, bro. Of course, the season's just begun. Things can change. We could win a Coppa Italia. We could. I don't know. We could finish potentially second or third or something like that.
Genuinely, again, can you take your optimistic, love for Juventus out for a second and be as logical as you can be? Do you really think that Juventus can even mount a second or third?
I think third is the highest I could see us finishing.
And what would need to happen? Because at the moment, you say that now. At the moment, if we extrapolate the data so far, that's not going to happen. And if Juventus keep playing the way they have been and keep getting results as they have been, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So what needs to change for Juventus to turn this season round? Because I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know.
You don't know what needs to change?
I don't know what needs to change. I feel like there's so many issues everywhere. I wouldn't know where to start.
First of all, I would like to sort of find a system that truly works for Juventus and play that week in, week out. Because I think a lot of the issues around us derive from consistently changing personnel, can change in the formation. Are we playing a 3-5-2? Are we playing a 3-4-3? Is Yildiz playing as a second striker? Is Yildiz playing on the left? Is Kalulu playing right wing back? 1 week is Rugani starting in the middle of the three? Is Gatti starting in the middle of the three? There's constant change, and constant change is chaos. Really, you can't create something sustainable from that. You almost need a system that suits the ambience of the club and the manager and the players. And I don't think Tudor has found that just yet. Of course, this is still... I understand Tudor signed last season, but we've made a lot of changes in the summer in terms of personnel. Players have left. Maybe a Colomwani, for example, maybe Tudor wanted to keep him. And maybe he didn't want a Pender, but a Pender's been given to him. So now he has to find a way to work with all these footballers and try and get the best out of an Pender, a Koopmeiners, a David, all these new players that, okay, David was a free, but we spent big money on that need to work out. And somehow,
João Mario.
Yeah, João Mario, he needs to try.
Who he said he didn't want to get rid of Alberto Costa.
That's the thing. So it's like, these signings were made, whether Tudor had an influence in it or not, but he needs to somehow make them work from an economic point of view and a sustainability point of view. So I think Tudor really needs to find a system that actually suits our players. If it's a 3-5-2, I thought against Madrid, for example, I thought that was a big jump up in terms of the performance compared to the Como game. I thought we actually looked quite solid against Madrid, and I thought on a different day we could have come away with a result. You're smiling and grinning over there, but did we not create some good chances in that game? Please tell me.
No, we did. But Real Madrid created about 3 or 4 times more
because they had 3 or 4 times the possession we had.
Yeah, and 3 or 4 times the amount of quality players, more than that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's why I thought we were actually decent, because we know their squad is a lot better than ours.
Yeah, but you know it was annoying me at the end of the game. Everyone was going, oh yeah, Courtois, he was incredible tonight. He made those 2 massive saves. Di Gregorio made about 50.
Yeah, of course. He was the best player on the pitch.
Real Madrid, there was not a world in which I could look back on that game and think, oh yeah, Juventus could have got a point. Juventus shouldn't have won that game though.
No, I don't think win, but I think we could have easily gotten a point.
Yeah, Punda had that good chance that, when he
that was a nice little move to be fair.
He should have done better though.
He should have hit the target on that. He shouldn't have taken... I think he took a touch and then the defender closed him down. But even Vlahovic, he created a very good one-on-one occasion from nothing. I'm not going to blame him. It was a good save from Courtois, and he ran about 50 or 6... I don't know how many yards, but a long way to get there. And he's not the quickest.
But the cream always rises. And the cream always rises. I mean, the chance... If Vlahovic was a top-level striker, that ball in from Yildiz, he would have anticipated that Yildiz... Because if you watch when Yildiz played that ball across the goal, he only had one way to pass that ball because he was being closed down from his right-hand side. He couldn't have gone back across goal. There was only one way that ball was going. It was across goal. And if Vlahovic was a top-level striker, he would have been there. He would have read it and he would have knocked it in.
I thought Vlahovic had a really good game. I thought that was the best striker performance from someone this season so far.
I thought he was alright.
I thought he was better than alright, because I think he held that defence back very, very well. And Real Madrid have a strong defence. Militao is not a Mickey Mouse defender. He's a strong defender.
But isn't this it though? We're talking about a very good... You said it's the best striker performance for Juventus.
This season, yeah.
The season.
For me, yeah.
And did he score?
No.
Did he get an assist?
No.
But isn't that the level though? Is that the level we're speaking about?
No, because there's been games where... Look, I could go off the Vlahovic game against Dortmund where he came off the bench and scored a brace. That could be considered his best because of the impact he had in terms of the goal.
I think it would be.
Fair enough, yeah, but I'm looking at it from a perspective of he started the whole game. I thought he played really, really well in that game. And Vlahovic hasn't started a game for Juventus in quite a while. David's been playing the last few games from the beginning. And I thought going to the Bernabeu, there's going to be pressure on his shoulders. There's going to be eyes on him as well. And I thought he put in a good shift. So that's what, from my perspective, I thought Vlahovic played his game really well. I thought his hold-up play was really, really good. I thought he utilised Yildiz off him. I thought he utilised the midfielders off him really well in terms of trying to bring them into the game. And I just thought overall he actually went toe-to-toe with Militao physically, and I thought he got the better of him more so. Yes, he missed the one-on-one, I get that. And look, if you're saying another striker would have scored that, Haaland potentially, but I thought Vlahovic in general played good in that game. And for me, I understand what you're saying. Look, we need to change a lot to win the league, but I don't think we will win the league.
No, I don't.
Do you see what I mean? So for me, it's going to be a top 4 charge. I think Tudor needs to find a system that suits the players. I'd like to change a few things, but obviously injury problems are a thing. I think Miretti should be starting. I think he deserves a chance, but he's just come back from injury. So again, easing him into that. I think Zagrova should start, but again, just come back from injury. I don't see a world in which Kalulu should be playing wing back for me. And we've seen that week in, week out. I think João Mario, whether Tudor wanted him or not, he has to be playing there.
Nah, come on. What are we doing?
What do you mean?
Man said João Mario has to be playing.
He has to.
Bro, I might cry.
Why wouldn't João Mario play on the right, bro?
But this is what we're talking about. Do you understand what you just said?
What did I say?
You said he has to start. João Mario.
Lorenzo, do you not think João Mario should be starting?
I don't.
As a wing back, he should be playing in his natural position.
I agree.
Kalulu's naturally a centre back.
I agree that he should be. No, you're missing what I'm saying. You're saying João Mario. We're talking about João Mario.
Yeah, he should be starting.
We're talking about João Mario. and he has to be starting for Juventus. That's what I'm saying about the fall off. I'm not looking at it as I'm not looking at the current squad. I'm taking a step back. I'm looking at this from a wider perspective. And yes, all teams go through bad patches. You can't win all the time. But João Mario, what would you call João Mario in the wider space of football? He's an alright wing back, right?
Well, I haven't seen enough of him.
He's an okay wing back from what I've seen of him. Even Porto fans were celebrating when they got rid of him in the summer.
Yeah, I remember. But again, I've only seen a handful of games.
And we're saying, he must start. That's what I'm saying about the level of this Juventus team.
But from my perspective, like Lorenzo said, it's because he's a wing back and Kalulu's a centre back.
I agree. I agree. He should be starting because he's a wing back.
Yeah.
And the amount of times Kalulu was in advanced positions. I mean, Kalulu was arguably like the player on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever the game was, who was in an advanced position for Juve, the most. But he doesn't know what to do with the ball.
Yeah, because
he's a centre back.
Yeah,
he's a centre back. So I agree with you that João Mario should be starting. It's just funny when you say he has to be starting, and we're talking about João Mario. That's funny to me.
Yeah, but bro, we have to work with what we got.
No, we do, but it's just it's funny.
I would have done anything to have had 2020-21 season Cuadrado on the right-hand side against Madrid, who had the best final ball I've ever seen from a wing-back, full-back at Juventus in my lifetime. But Kalulu was there, who's a natural centre-back, who, as you said, in a final third, it's not his fault. I don't blame him.
You get excited when he's marauding. You get excited.
I don't. Because I see Kalulu and I'm like, he has to play a quick ball to someone else, because if we get into a position of danger, his final delivery is not going to be effective, and he's not going to beat the first man on the cross because his feet aren't capable of doing so. So it's not a question of, like you said, it's just he's playing out of position. I don't dislike Kalulu. I actually think he's a decent centre half, but playing him right wing back for me is a bit. It's just the incorrect decision. And that's why João Mario should be starting. Look, yeah, he's played a few games. Has he been incredible for Juventus? I thought he was good in the pre-season. So far in the season, when he's played, he hasn't been exceptional. But
what does it say about João Mario that Tudor isn't picking him?
I don't know. He doesn't like him, maybe, or he doesn't rate him, or he doesn't think he suits his system.
Or he might just not be good enough.
I don't know, because how many players do you think are good enough in this team?
How many? Don't ask me that question.
To play for Juventus, I'm saying.
On my life, don't ask me that
you
question.
You're going to say there's very few that are good enough, aren't you?
Yeah.
Exactly, but there's 11 men in the squad, so you have to have 11 players.
Who are good? They have to be good enough right now.
That's what I'm saying. So whether you think they're good enough or not, you have to pick the best options in the correct position.
That's my only question regarding João Mario. So like, Tudor, and Tudor's been around. He's been around a while now. He's not like a new manager. He's had experience, and the fact that he's still continuing to play Kalulu as a wing back over João Mario, to me, is like, that's quite a damning statement. Like how bad again.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't switched it. I am.
But when you take into account, right, and I can only go with like what I've seen and what I've heard, right. We started off with Porto fans celebrating him leaving in the summer. That was already a warning sign. The few minutes he has played this season have not been that impressive whatsoever, and now he's being benched by a centre back as a wing back.
I get everything
like
you're saying.
That to me is like.
I do, but do you think it's at the same time we haven't seen enough of him? To be able to judge,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I can only base my opinion on what I've seen so far.
I know, and what I've seen so far, I don't think he's been exceptional.
And I don't think he's going to be a needle mover, because probably what he might make up for slightly going forward that Kalulu has, he probably won't have Kalulu's physical intensity.
He's very weak, John.
And he won't have his defensive capabilities either, which Juventus kind of need right now. Let's not forget, like this is a very leaky Juventus.
That's probably why he's going for Kalulu.
I agree.
Because I think he Tudor's more in the mindset that I need someone whose recovery is good and has that 1v1 ability rather than the creative, good final ball. He's like, well, I know Kalulu's probably not the best in the final third, but defensively he's stronger than João Mario. So that's probably why he's doing that. But at the same time, when you have an outlet, for example, against Real Madrid, when Kalulu was open so often, if you had like a very effective player in the final third, we would have scored a good 2 or 3 in the first 15 minutes. Because there were a lot of times where Kalulu had a lot of space and time in the final third to pick out the correct ball, and he messed up on every single one. It didn't matter. Because he just doesn't have the know-how and decision-making in the final third. It's not his position.
Never played there.
So look, we got a game against Lazio coming up on Sunday. Going to Rome is always tough, because in general, even when we were the best team in Italy, we didn't have the best of records in Rome against Lazio or Roma. It's not an easy place to go, the capital, and Lazio haven't been incredible this season. So
it's the best time to play them, really.
It really is. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a must-win game. You have to get the 3 points.
Well, do you think at what point does Tudor being sacked start being a real possibility?
Do you want me to be honest with you? I don't think it will change anything. I don't think if Tudor goes now, who are you bringing in?
Spalletti,
Mancini.
If I was a Juve fan,
either of them.
If I was a Juve fan, I'd want Spalletti.
I'd want Mancini.
Why would you want Mancini?
I love Mancini.
How can you love Mancini as a Juventus fan?
I love Mancini.
He hates Juventus. All he does is he's
he's
rubbish about us all the time.
100%. But I think he'd do a better job than Tudor.
Nah, Tudor knows what it means to be at Juventus, bro. I want someone that's a Juventino. I don't want Mancini.
I want someone who wins.
But Mancini won't win. He's finished.
I don't think he is.
He is finished, bro.
I really don't think he is. I'd rather Spalletti. I'd rather Mancini. Because you know what? If we're gonna lose and be shit, at least play some nice football along the way. You know.
No, I'd rather lose and have a captain at the helm who will die with the ship, and that's Tudor, because he knows what it means to be at the club, bro.
Yeah, and he'll know what it means to be sacked soon as well.
If he gets sacked, he gets sacked. But if he gets sacked, I want someone that's ex-Juventus to come in.
I'm not too bothered, honestly. I just want someone who's going to come in and breathe a bit of life into the team. I think the players look a bit. I don't really think the players care either. I mean, there was that. I don't know if you saw the video today of the NBA collab they did. And all the players were coming out.
Oh yeah, when they were like, who's going to win the...
And the comments, man. They were getting killed. Everyone was like, these lot are creasing. We haven't won a game in 7. They're creasing about Nikola Jokic.
It says it all, doesn't it?
They're doing tickers about about NBA and Nikola Jokic, man. Oh my God.
But bro, I don't see Tudor leaving. I don't see him getting sacked, to be honest.
But
Unless we lose against Lazio, we lose the game after, we lose the... I think what could be a big tell sign is the next 3 Champions League games, I believe, are Sporting, Paphos, and another Bodo Glimt.
That should be 9 points.
Yeah.
And if it's not 9 points, then there's big problems.
I agree, that's a big issue, because last year, the threshold to finish top 24
how many
was
points?
11 points.
Yeah, it was.
We're currently on 2. We should solidify playoffs, which isn't good. Obviously, we want to try and aim for top 8 as Juventus as a club. But we should solidify playoffs within the next 3 games. Because like you said, Lorenzo, those 3 games there have to be guaranteed 9 points.
Yep.
There's no two ways about it against those 3 teams. And look, I don't want to disrespect them 3 teams, but we have better squads than them 3 teams. So we should be the favourites going into them. But I think we're tied on points with... 2 of the 3, and then...
It's Sporting's next, right?
Sporting, yeah.
Sporting will be tough.
It'll be tough.
They're always tough.
But we need to win.
Are we away?
No, we're at home. We played 2 away games in a row.
I don't know. It's very dire. It's a very bad situation Juventus are in right now.
Right,
I think. And it's confusing as well. Tudor confuses me. He really does. Again, I don't...
what regard?
I don't want to keep going on about Koopmeiners. I really don't, because I feel bad. I genuinely, at this point, feel bad for him. But I couldn't name you another player off the top of my head who has played so consistently badly, or not even just averagely and below averagely for such a consistent period of time, yet remains to start week and week and week.
Do you want me to tell you why? Why I think he starts?
The price tag.
I think he starts because we paid 60 million for him, and the board have told Tudor, look, man, this situation is what it is. We have to get something from this guy. Whether you raise his market value, get some form out of him, whether we sell him down the line, we need something from him. We need to try and work with him. With Douglas Luiz shipped off to Forest, they found a club that wanted him. Gonzalez shipped off to Atletico, found a club that wanted him. Both of them weren't good either last season, in my opinion. Koopmeiners, either we didn't want to sell him, potentially. Nobody wanted him, potentially. Or Tudor believed in him, potentially. I don't know what the situation is exactly.
He's even playing him as a regista now. He tried him as a regista.
He's played everywhere. He's played off the right in a 3-4-3. He's played in a 3-man midfield. I actually think he looks best in a 3-man midfield out of everywhere I've seen him as a right 8, because he has a bit of cover around him. He has less responsibilities. But with Koopmeiners, I'm like, I told you, when Miretti comes in, Miretti has to start. For me, it has to be a midfield 3 of Locatelli at the base, Thuram and Miretti. Or Adzic. For me. And Koopmeiners is one of those situations where I've said it countless times. I feel for him because I think he cares for the club and he wants to try.
He's a better player than he's showing as well.
Yeah, and we just haven't seen that level yet. But at the same time, at a club like Juventus, time doesn't exist.
No.
It doesn't exist for players, managers. Now. Yeah, and it's like we need to get something from you. So I understand that, and I think Tudor's trying to get the best out of him. Probably because of the amount we paid for him. I think.
Implication, ultimately. Because if he continues the way he is, no one's going to pay more than 20 million for him wherever he goes next.
Yeah, if we were to sell him, we would take a loss right now.
A big loss.
Yeah.
And, you know, even dropping Locatelli the other day, I thought was strange.
I don't really know the logic behind it.
I again, it's just these decisions that just, and I think the way the squad's been built as well, whether that's him or whether it's the board, but to have three strikers, Vlahovic, Openda and David, yet you're only really playing one striker at a time, one number 9 at a time, I think is bizarre, because they're all kind of equally at a level. I don't really see one as being better than the other two.
Who do you think should start, Lorenzo, for us up front? Or would you do a 2-man attack, 3-man attack? What would your run through? Actually, this is interesting, to be fair. Run through, what would your Juventus lineup be if everyone's fit and healthy?
I don't know. I think put me on the spot. I think you should play a fullback first of all, because I don't think you have the centre backs capable of. You know, I just don't think your centre backs are good enough.
Yeah.
Like Lord Kelly and all of them lot, I don't think they're good enough.
Lord Kelly.
So what would your 2-man? Well, just do.
Okay, Di Gregorio in goal for me.
Yeah.
I think your 2 centre backs has to be Gattu, one of them, and
Kalulu.
You got Kalulu.
That's why.
Well, Bremer obviously, but
when Bremer's fit, obviously, but yeah. But then I think you have to put Kalulu somewhere across that back four because he can play right back as well.
Yeah, he's better as a right back than a right wing back as well for me.
Yeah,
because he has less offensive responsibilities.
Yeah.
So would you play Kalulu in a as a second centre back next to Gatti, or would you play him right back and then someone else centre back? Because Cambiaso will be left back.
Yeah, Cambiaso will be left back. But who else have you got as a centre back?
Regani, Lloyd Kelly.
These guys aren't.
So
they're not good.
But then right back, would you play João Mario then in a 4-back and
I think you have to.
So you do.
I don't think you have a choice. I think you have to.
Okay, so it'd be João Mario.
João Mario right, Cambiaso left.
Yeah.
I think you go 3 in the middle. I think you go Locatelli holding.
Yeah.
Either side, you got Kefren Turam. Got Coop Miners. Who else you got?
Miretti, we got Adzic.
I think Miretti's a better player than Coop Miners.
So you go.
Really?
Yeah. I don't rate Coop Miners at all.
I'm still not sold on Miretti though.
We haven't. Well, for Miretti, right? I think he had a good year at Genoa. And we haven't seen him since at the club.
He had a pretty good year.
So, like, for me, it's a clean slate with him. You said it yourself. Can he really be doing a lot worse than a lot of these players?
But I think, as you say, like Tudor's probably been told to play Coop Miners to keep some value. Which is insane. So I think Coop Miners will start in whatever situation. And then the front three, I think Zagrova once he's fully fit, I think he has to start.
I agree.
Because every time he's played, he's looked dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
Beats his man every time.
Kenan, obviously.
Kenan, obviously, on the left. And I think your best striker is Vlahovic, in my opinion. If you're playing a solo striker, I think he's got the best argument to start as a solo striker. I think Openda's works better in a 2-man striker system. And I think David... I don't know. I feel like Vlahovic can hold the ball up, and I think that's what you need in a one striker formation.
What about if I pose this? 4-2-3-1, have a Locatelli and a Thuram, for example. Kenan as the 10, and then have out wide a Conceição on one wing as a Grover on the other.
I think it'd be too unbalanced.
Yeah, but who's playing on the left?
One of the two, Conceição.
But you'd be putting them in an unnatural position.
Yeah, but you'd have to adapt.
And I think Yildiz is better off the left.
Do you? Because I think he's better in the 10, man. I just think with Kenan off the left, you know what my issue is right now? He defends too much.
Yeah.
He has to track back and work so hard off the ball, where often you see him panting and tired because he's running so much, and that limits him when he has the ball at his feet. I feel like in a 10, he's central, so he's going to have the 2 8s behind him. He has the striker initiating the press. He's got a little bit more protection, let's say, less defensive responsibility, but full creative responsibility. Look at Ronaldo at United. They knew he's going to do less work defensively, but he's going to win us the game. Kenan will win us the game. He's the only player that can really win us the game. And I feel like in the 10, he can still drift to the left, drift out right, to the right. And I just think he's a natural 10. I don't know, looking at him, even with Motta last season, remember, he started as a 10 the first 2 games before Coop Miners came in, and then he was pushed out wide. And then, I think we haven't seen him playing that 10 yet, since, but I just feel like, look at Palmer at Chelsea. He's got freedom. Wirtz, he's not doing good at Liverpool, but he's got freedom. All these 10s, Musiala, Jude Bellingham. I feel like Yildiz on the left has too many defensive responsibilities. So I think I'd want to see him play as a 10. But like you said, I think it's unlikely because we don't have a natural left winger. Zagrova or Conceição would have to play out of position. Maybe you could throw McKennie in there, but he's not a left winger.
I don't want to see McKennie on the wing.
Yeah. We've seen it before.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired, man. I'm tired of seeing Coop Miners on the wing. I'm tired of seeing McKennie on the wing. I don't want to see that. And even that...
You know what we need right now? Mbangula, man. He would be very useful.
Yeah, even Mbangala. I was never sure on Mbangala.
Really? I liked him.
I thought he was alright. Same with Illing Jr. I thought he was alright.
No, I read both.
But even if you can't play a 4-2-3-1 with this Juventus team, it'd be way too open. We're so bad. I mean, look, if you think about it, if you talk, we're already so poor at the back, and we're playing 5 defenders, right? Even a centre back at wing back, right? You've got Thuram, who is fine defensively, but again, Thuram's best trait is his ability to carry the ball and get forward and create stuff. Then leaving Locatelli just to mop up, and I don't really trust. I love Locatelli, but I don't trust him on his own to kind of defensively marshal a midfield. Then you look behind him and you've got Gatti and Kalulu, João Mario, Cambiaso. That'd be a disaster. It'd be like concede about 3 or 4 goals.
I think you need to pack out the midfield.
Yeah, I agree.
I think games are won in the midfield. I think you need to get as many numbers as you can.
Then I think,
we lose too many midfield battles every game.
You can pack the midfield, but if you're not packing the midfield with quality, when you're packing the midfield with McKennie and Coop Miners...
But that's not in my starting 11.
I know,
mine was Locatelli, Thuram, and then
not.
Yildiz in the 10. Or if we do a 3-man midfield like Lorenzo suggested, I would have Miretti in there. Or Adzic as like that Odegaard role, more like as an advanced 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, we have nothing to lose, everything to gain. We should probably switch up and try something new.
Just go for it.
And yeah, literally, look, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, that's the thing. It can't get much worse. And really, I mean, at least the last 7 games.
Yeah, we may as well change something. We may as well try and change something. Like we know, at the end of the day, we know what Coop Miners will give us in a 2-man midfield or a 3-man midfield. We know what McKennie's going to give us in that. Miretti, I know he's just come back from injury, but now he's training with the first team. Throw him in.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Miretti. Again, I always thought you saw glimpses of like a talented player.
But also, bro, you saw him when he was 19. That was the last time you saw him play for Juventus. That's very young.
But even at Genoa, there was also times where he did show just a bit of a lack of incisiveness and guile. It was better than it was at Juventus, but there was.
That will take time, though. It will take time. He's still so young,
But again, I don't know. I think a lot needs to change at Juventus. It's more than we could even begin to kind of delve into now.
Well, hopefully we bounce back with a win against Lazio. That's what I'm hoping for.
Hopefully. Now, a quick message to say that the Calcio show is now proudly sponsored by the Soccer Archive, one of the best in the game when it comes to original retro football shirts. Luca, both of us have worked with the Soccer Archive in the past. Tell us a little bit about them.
They are the best company to get retro soccer shirts, retro pieces, memorabilia, even modern day stuff. I got this beautiful 1994 Italy Maldini home shirt from there. We've worked with them for a while. You can get new pieces daily, whether that be online at www.thesoccerarchive.com or in their store at 24 Great Windmill Street in London, Soho. Make sure you go check them out and also go follow them on all social media platforms at the Soccer Archive.
And that's not even the best part, though.
Well, tell me what is.
The best part is that if you buy online using the code TCS10, you can get 10% off your first order with the Soccer Archive.
So you're telling me I could get any Juventus kit I want plus 10% off if I use that code?
You can indeed.
Well then, it's perfect. Make sure you use it, boys. Link will be in the description.
Well, let's move on to Napoli. Right, Lorenzo. We're going to ask you some questions now. We'll probe you. So, Napoli again. Are you in a crisis?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the football we're playing is progressively getting worse and worse since the beginning of the season. Torino wasn't great. I mean, we didn't play badly, but it just wasn't great.
What was it, 1-0 Torino?
1-0 Torino.
Yeah.
Which the goal we kind of just gave to them, to be honest with you.
To be fair, it was a good finish, though.
It was a good finish, yeah, but...
Which has been a theme of Napoli this season, just giving goals.
I know, we're leaking goals all over the place. The defence is nowhere near as solid as it was last season. Which it doesn't make sense.
I don't understand.
That's true.
It doesn't make sense.
But you've added.
We've added. We've signed Buchema, we've signed... Mario Nucci's played, but...
The other lad, what's his name?
Gutierrez.
Yes.
Gutierrez left back. He's looked okay. I mean, he hasn't really played that much. He only played against Milan, I think. Spinazzoli's been playing very, very well. Like, he's our best player.
He's kind of carrying at the moment.
He's been our best player. I don't know why we're leaking so many goals. I think the issue now is that because we're favourites to win the Serie A, I think we're kind of dominating possession this season and getting caught on the counter far too many times. Whereas last season, we weren't, in this position where we would dominate games. A lot of the time we were sitting back, even against teams like Torino, and catching them on the counter.
What? So you think your strongest plays in transition rather than possession system?
I think so. I mean, that's how we played for the majority of last season.
And a lot of direct goals as well. A lot of crosses into the box that Mctominay would get on the end of.
Yeah.
And he's another one. Again, to me, I know you've brought in De Bruyne, who is, will go down as one of the greatest midfielders to ever live. But to have someone who's as effective as Mctominay basically win you the league last season, and to then shoehorn him out of position, and to lose that, because ultimately by doing that you lose his threat.
But what can you do? You can't bench De Bruyne.
Can't you?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Can't you?
Or could you play De Bruyne at the base with Lobotka out injured? Play a 3-man midfield of him, Anguissa and McTominay.
I don't know if De Bruyne is that guy. I mean,
you don't think he could?
He could.
Transition into a 6.
He could do that.
He could, but then would him transitioning into a role that he's never really played?
But I think
when you've got Gilmour there, who's ready-made as a holding midfielder.
Yeah.
Who hasn't done badly this season.
He hasn't done badly.
Okay.
But do you not think De Bruyne's a bit of a waste further back?
Possibly, but I think it's more of a waste having McTominay out of position when he's already made the difference. And De Bruyne, physically for City in the last year, hasn't been there. He's missed a lot of games due to injury and stuff like that. So I think in terms of his physicality, it probably benefits him playing at the 6. You're probably going to get more minutes out of him in the long run anyway. And in terms of like utilising your best player, who is McTominay, I think, yeah.
What, and then you'd play... Just want to know, would you play a 4-3-3 then?
Yeah, I'd probably play a 4-3-3.
But then who would you put out wide?
Lang.
Noah Lang. You would start Noah Lang.
Let's talk about Noah Lang actually. Noah Lang, who
Politano Lang maybe,
who said that. So I think he was interviewed by a Dutch interviewer after the PSV game in the week, which Napoli lost 6-2. By the way, just to remind.
Thanks for that.
And he was asked, like, "Oh, do you speak much to Conte?" And he said that he's only spoken to Conte once since he's joined.
Do you believe that though?
There's no reason for him to lie.
He might lie to send Conte an indirect message potentially.
But then the thing is, if there's one person you don't do that with,
yeah, but exactly, he doesn't. I don't think Noah Lang realises this.
I don't think he does.
That's the thing. I think he doesn't realise.
He's had an attitude before as well. It's been quite widely known that Noah Lang does have a bit of an attitude. If there's one manager you don't, about 10, see you later. It's all over.
That's the thing. I don't think he realised that. So I think he was sending an indirect message like, look, man, we have problems, me and you. And Conte, like you said, is not a guy.
Conte will rub his hands together. I was like, all right then.
If you want to play with fire, let's play, man. Yeah. But I don't think Noah Lang realised. But I think Noah Lang is one of them players where, like, I think he's a good player. Like, he's got game-winning potential abilities, but I think his laziness and his attitude probably lets him down. And again, a bit of a bizarre signing because he's an oxymoronic footballer compared to Conte's philosophy.
Doesn't suit his football at all.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't track back. I mean, I think Conte's trying to get him to track back.
He just can't.
But he can't. I mean, one of the goals we conceded against PSV was because he wasn't tracking back.
But then let me pose this question to you. What about Eden Hazard? One of the most effective seasons he ever had in his career was the 16-17 season with Conte when they won the league. How did he get the best out of Hazard, knowing that Hazard defensively wasn't working so hard?
Because Hazard was one of the greatest players of his generation and will go down in football history. And in 5-10 years' time, no one will remember who Noah Lang is. That's the difference.
So you're saying,
Hazard is a generational footballer who you build your team around. If you have a Hazard in your team, you drop everything and you say, how can I make this team work so he can play at his best? We will do anything because he's a game changer. And with a player like that, with Noah Lang, you don't do that.
No.
With Noah Lang, you say, listen, mate, you're all right at football. If you work back, you can play. If you don't work back, see you later.
Yeah.
You're not that good.
Like what Politano does.
Yeah, exactly. That, you know what? We give Politano some shit on here sometimes.
No, but he works hard.
But
he works hard. That's why Conte loves him.
And that's what I said, didn't I? I said he's Di Lorenzo's daddy this year. Because the amount of shit that Politano gets Di Lorenzo out of, especially this season.
He's been carried.
And he is, whatever you say about Politano's shortcomings going forward, he is such an incredible worker. And he will always give 110%. And that's why, like you said, that's why Conte loves him. Conte will not tolerate a player like Noah Lang. He will not.
No. It's true. It is true. It's true. It's a weird one. Who would you play out wide then? Politano on the right, I'm guessing. On the left?
I like Neres,
Neres,
but I feel like Neres is better on the right.
But then
Politano, you could maybe...
But Politano never played on the left.
No. He's a hard worker. So he's
a hard worker.
Shift there.
He's a hard worker, but I feel like Neres has to go on the left because Neres has played on the left before.
you know, he's Napoli.
But at Inter, Politano played on the left sometimes. I feel like he did.
I mean,
Yeah,
at Sassuolo, he
he's
played more.
played.
I think he has played a little bit. I think at Sassuolo, he's mainly on
But
the
it's
right.
not his natural position.
Yeah.
Do you know who's Napoli? You know who Napoli's best left winger would be?
Spinazzola.
Spina.
I'm playing Gutierrez.
And bolster the back line.
To be fair, that could work.
Almost play a 3-5-2 hybrid, and allow Spina to just because Spina.
But you know what? I've actually been thinking about this formation, right? That will get everyone in the right position. If you play, listen to this, right?
Well, let him cook.
Let me cook, right? Let me
Have
cook.
a safe flight, G.
Let me cook, right? You play a 3-4-3,
Yeah.
or a 3-4-2-1.
Mm.
You play
So with like two kind of wingers or inside forwards.
inside
Right,
forwards,
okay.
right? You play Lobotka and Anguissa as a double pivot in the middle,
Okay.
and you play as the two further ahead. You play De Bruyne and Mctominay.
So almost like a box midfield, almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Spina on the left.
Spina left
Politano
wing
on
back.
the
You can
right,
play Politano right wing back.
Lukaku up front.
Lukaku up front.
Then Juan Jesus Romani and.
Not Juan Jesus,
Igor.
but like
Really?
But I think Di Lorenzo has to start first of all.
So he right
Why?
centre.
He's another one.
I know,
I think
he's
Di
another
Lorenzo
one.
should be dropped.
I think he should be dropped
I think
as well.
he should. But for the fourth, I can't even speak. It incenses me so much. For the performances Di Lorenzo has been putting
been
up
awful.
this year. I know he's your captain.
He's been
I know he's
awful.
captain fantastic. Won 2 Serie A titles. For the performances he's been putting up this year, he should be dropped. He should be dropped for Italy and he should be dropped for Napoli.
He should, but would he though?
Well, would Conte do that?
I don't think he'll drop him.
If
He's
it were
the
me,
captain.
if I was playing 3 at the back, I'd play Bucama, Juan Jesus and Romani. And I'd make it as solid as
Not
possible.
Buongiorno.
Oh, Buongiorno, sorry. Yeah, instead of Juan Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good back three, to be fair.
But then again, it's a bit too like, you know, I don't know if Conte would do that.
It's 3 at the back. It's what Conte knows.
He might change. But
But I don't
know.
think he will. I don't think he will.
Again, it just doesn't look like a Conte team at the moment.
I feel like Conte, I don't know why, man. I think he's going to walk halfway through the season.
Oh, that'd be insane.
I just see him losing his patience already.
Bro, I do love him, but he is also he must be, as an owner, he must be really infuriating to work with as well.
Because his ego, his personality.
He's like, I want this. Okay, we'll give you this. No, you gave me too much of that.
Yeah.
Bro said, we signed too many players.
Too many players.
All his career, all he ever says is, we need to sign more players. You know, we don't have a checkbook. I can't go to this restaurant.
He's a classic Italian.
With 10 euros.
He's a classic Italian. They're never
What am I
happy.
supposed to do?
Yeah.
Right. And you finally Di Laurentiis, and maybe the signings weren't exactly what Conte wanted, but he still brought in players. He still bolstered that squad. He spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he gave Conte players, and now Conte's saying, no, you gave me too many players. I didn't want that many players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you signed Lorenzo Luca for 35 million.
Don't get me started with that guy, man.
Let's talk about Lorenzo Luca.
Oh, please.
Where would you rank him in terms of Serie A strikers right now? In terms of the big clubs?
He's probably the worst one. Genuinely, I'd rather we played Ambrosino, our 4th choice striker, over Lorenzo Luca, who we signed for 35 million.
Shout out Beppe, man. Shout out Beppe.
Ambrosino's a better striker than him. In the Primavera, right? Listen to this,
I was
right?
talking about Primavera.
In the Primavera, when Napoli's Primavera were newly promoted, he was a top scorer in the Primavera.
Okay, now starting.
But how old are the Primavera players? They're like 18.
Yeah. But now he's in the first team.
Yeah, but you would start him over Lorenzo Luca, who's Serie A proven.
I would start him. This Lorenzo Luca has got nothing about him. If you don't cross the ball to him, what has he got?
That goal he scored was great, though. That was a
But
great...
that's one goal, and it was against Pisa.
I know, it was against Pisa, but...
Because his hold-up play for someone who's 6'7" is not great. He can't run in behind. He doesn't get his teammates into the game. So what does he do?
It's a great
It's
question.
good in the air.
Yeah, but that's it.
Peter Crouch.
It's still an asset for a
No,
striker.
because Peter Crouch was actually a good footballer.
Yeah, he was, to be
Yeah.
fair. He was.
Lorenzo Luca has no technical
35
ability.
million is outrageous.
So you just think he's like a human plank?
Well, from what we've seen of him so far, that's what he looks like.
Yeah, 35 mil is insane. That's absolutely insane for Lorenzo Luca.
said it'd be striker.
I think maybe Lukaku coming back might change things. I think that is. I think people probably forget how big of a miss that is and just how important.
When is he back
last
anyway?
year. I think it's
like December time.
Beginning of December. I think.
But I think it says a lot about Lorenzo Luca when it's making me miss Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, Højlund.
What happened to Højlund? What is the injury?
Injured.
Yeah, but which one?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad injury, but
No. But yeah, Luca's been
he's been horrible.
An absolute.
And then he's got sent off as well. Sent off as well.
What did he even do? I didn't understand what he
He
did.
started pointing to his head or something. I don't know.
Pointing to his head.
Pointing to his head to
I
the
think
referee.
to the ref he was going
like that.
whatever. I don't even know what he was.
The referee straight red card.
The ref was like, "I'm sorry."
That just made matters worse.
Yeah, he's. But Capello said that. Capello was saying. Did you see what Capello said about?
Lorenzo Luca.
No, he was talking about Mctominay and De Bruyne, and he said it reminded him of the England.
Managerial and Lampard.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a decent comparison, to be fair.
Like you're just trying to shoehorn these two players in, and ultimately,
It's not work.
the balance just ain't right. You know, or do you put McTominay back? But then De Bruyne still would get in the way, wouldn't he?
I think
like maybe put De Bruyne out on the right hand side, the left hand side. Let him just float around and like create, and have Spinazzola behind him. Then put McTominay back where,
point.
you know, maybe try that. I don't know.
I think when AFCON comes around in January, whenever it is, and Igis goes to the AFCON,
yes,
I think that will be the midfield three,
it's going to have to work as well.
and it's going to have to work.
Yeah, that would be a big miss, though, and we saw.
Yeah,
It's just strange. It's really watching Napoli this year has been really strange. I don't know how, in just 8-9 weeks, they've gone from looking so defensively solid last year in such an archetypally Conte team to the complete opposite of that. It really is strange. I don't know what's happened, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see, won't we?
We'll have to see.
But yeah, so Juventus for me are in crisis. They're not in crisis for you. Napoli,
not for me.
are they in crisis?
50-50.
They're getting there.
Depends what we do against Inter.
We'll see then,
You're
isn't it?
confident?
No. I think I'll be happy with a draw, to be honest.
Yeah, 100% you take a draw.
But if we win, it's a big statement.
Yeah, of course, you'll go first.
We'll go first. It's a big statement if we win.
I think Inter will win.
I think Inter will win.
We always struggle with Inter, so.
And I think it could be they could win quite comfortably as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Inter looks so strong right
We've
now.
Then I
all-
think Napoli will raise their game tomorrow. One thing Conte is good at is getting his team up for those big games.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I do think there is a part of me that in the week was thinking, knowing Conte, would he have had one eye on this game as well?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But let us know in the comment section, are Juventus in a crisis? Are Napoli in a crisis? Who's going to win, Inter or Napoli? Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 1k subs. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating as well if you're listening on Spotify. Like the video, share it to some friends. Without further ado, we'll see you in the next one.